All right, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and I have a special guest of mine here today. She goes by the name of Miss JT, and here's the thing with her. She's a big Salt Lake City fan. When I told her that I was gonna start doing reviews on it, she was like, "Well, let me jump on one of them. Let me jump on one of them." So today, she texted me while I was watching the show, and she wanted to jump on one today. So I was like, "Okay, we're gonna do it," because I'm pretty sure since she's a Salt Lake City historian, she can add to this conversation. So we're here to talk about last night's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I must say that it's a doozy. And I must say that, I used to be sitting up here wondering why everybody goes up for Salt Wives because, I'm pro brown girls. That sounds so prejudiced. But But however, I've been watching it this season and it's really good. But I think I had because I was telling JT this once before that I started watching the first season because I was so intrigued by the Mary story because they were saying that she married her grandmother's husband, and that's all I needed to watch the show. So, oh God, somebody must have called her. But that's all I needed to watch the show was to hear somebody say something about, the messy side of me was like, this woman that sit up here and married her grandmother's husband. You feel what I'm saying? So that made me want to watch it. But it was boring. She'll be back. It was boring to me, though. And I tried to watch season 2. It was boring. Then I tried to come back for season 3. It was boring, too. So I didn't want to watch it no more. But then,
sorry, somebody tried to call me, child.
I knew it. But then season 4 came around, and that's when everybody was saying how good it was. Oh my God, this is such a good show. Oh my God. See, girl, put that phone on, do not disturb.
I am.
But what was I finna say? But it was like, oh my God, girl, this is a good show. It's a good show. By season 4, everybody was saying how good of a show it was. But I wouldn't watch it. But then season 5 came around, and I would watch Jamie That's Me reviews because y'all know that's my good girlfriend, Jamie That's Me. I watch her reviews, and she made it sound so good. So what I did was I was watching the season 5 reunion on Peacock, and I was like, okay. So my friend T kept on saying, you need to review this show. You need to review this show. You need to review this show. And I said, okay, I guess I'll go ahead and do it for season 6. And I've been going in on these reviews since I started reviewing this show this season, and I know that I did not have that much to work with considering I haven't just fully watched the season since season 1 and halfway of season 2 and 3. But I will say that the people that I like are like Bronwyn. I love Bronwyn. I always liked Whitney. I know that during the seasons that I didn't watch, people were not liking her no more. But I've always liked Whitney. I used to like Heather, but I don't now. And I never liked Lisa. Meredith was cool. And Angie cool too. And I've always liked Mary.
As you should. Mary is everything. Like,
I always like Mary. I probably wasn't supposed to though, but I like Mary.
the people don't know that when they actually was shopping and creating Salt Lake City, they built the show around Mary.
Oh wow!
Like,
See, I didn't know that.
yes, they built it around Mary, but Lisa, Heather, Meredith were the ones who kind of did the recommendations and things like that. But Mary was the focal point and was the selling point. So it
Mm,
makes sense why you like her. Mary is everything. Mary gives you the shade,
she
she gives
do.
you laughs, she gives you the drama. It's everything.
She do. I can't say that. I love me some Mary. This show would not be interesting if Mary wasn't on here or
Mhm.
Angie.
Yes.
I even say
Honestly,
Lisa. I even say Lisa because I don't like Lisa, but she. And we're gonna have a lot to say about Lisa right about now. So let's go ahead and get into the review because we are at the 5-minute mark. So we're gonna open this thing up with Whitney. Now, Whitney says that she's not surprised that Bronwyn is running late because of everything that she got going on, and she wouldn't be surprised if she don't show up because we're gonna talk about it. And if she don't show up, we're gonna talk about it.
okay.
And I feel like that's an even trade. I mean, love Bronwyn, but I do think that if you gonna dish shit, then you gonna have to take it. Because if you sitting up here talking about Lisa and all the lawsuits she got, you better be ready for them to talk about you and your shit.
Hmm. Which I can appreciate, Whitney, who is like technically friends with Brahman right now. I can
Hmm.
appreciate the fact that Whitney's not ducking the smoke for it. Like she's like, hey, yeah, we cool, but we gotta discuss this either way, regardless of if you come or not. Like, baby, you're a topic of discussion. Period.
Right. So that's one thing about it. Now, I think the thing with this cast is now I'm understanding what what people say about why this cast works, because I think they work because they all work. It's not just one person picking up the slack. It's a lot of all of them take turns working. Like it's like they play hot potato or something. Like one person throws this out, then this person throws. Because that's all I saw on this episode. So the more I
Mhm.
was laying in my bed watching it, I'm like, hmm. Now I see why they say the things they say about this cast. Because at first, for me, I thought they were just overhyping these people. No lie, I just thought they were overhyping it. But I'm like, oh, okay, I understand what they're talking about now.
Now, I will say, and I am a fan of hers, love her down, but this season, Meredith isn't working.
She's not.
Meredith is not working. Like in the moment, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but the moment where where Heather and Whitney are trying to like, hey, let's have this conversation about whatever the conversation needs to be. Meredith is just so, well, if it is that, then we'll go with that. If I don't know for sure, which I can understand why she's like that because it's like she's a concrete evidence kind of woman. Like if you're not bringing me actual and factuals, then I can't really do too much with it. But Whitney and Heather, they don't care. If they think it's something, they go on with it. And that's what I appreciate with them.
I agree with that because like Meredith kind of stays on the fence. Like she don't really want to rock the boat in a
Yeah.
sense, but she stays on the fence, and that kind of works against her sometimes, based off of what
Mhm.
I see on here.
Yes.
So they find their rooms on the ship, and Brittany learns that she's sharing a room with Bronwyn, and she doesn't really want to share a room with Bronwyn. But here's my thing: if I was Bronwyn, I wouldn't want to share no room with a failed mother. So
Oh,
that's how I feel
Jesus.
about it. Oh, see, this is what see. Here we go.
Oh my God, Scotty. But no lies indicated. No lies indicated. If I was Bronwyn, I would also not want to stay in a room with somebody who has a stuffed animal that has her boyfriend's voice in it. Weird behavior all around.
Yeah, see, I would never want to share a room, a space, a drink, a meal with anybody that picks dick over their own kids and don't even know who their kids really are. And then when you see them with their kids, they're awkward with their own fucking kids. So therefore, Brittany is the epitome of a bad mother. So of course I wouldn't want to be around her. Here I go again, showing the side of me that I don't like to show. Again, here we go. Oh my god, today ain't been the day.
You had a day.
Oh my god! I forgot you was on the. I forgot you and Nikki was on the phone when I was arguing with my.
You had a day, honey. Listen, this is the perfect forum for you to release all of this anger and attention, child.
But you can't lie. I went off on them folks,
You did. You
and
did.
they deserved every bit of it.
Your favorite phrase is, well, my thing is.
It is. That's how you know I'm finna go in. That's how you
Yes.
know.
I let you know.
Oh, so let me see. So then Brittany says that her and Jared are separated again, and I'm like, girl.
Child.
So you going on another 30-day cleanse?
Hmm. Hmm. But
We supposed to care about it?
let's really talk about it though. You remember a couple
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna
episodes.
turn this heater off behind me, but go ahead.
You good, boo. You remember a couple episodes back, we had a whole moment with her and Whitney where Whitney was giving very much big sister vibes, right? Like she was
Mhm.
literally telling her, like, hey, like, you know, I really think you need to take a step back from Jared, focus on your kids, da 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 da. And Brittany, even though we knew she wasn't gonna listen, it gave like she was receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to, not was it last episode or episode before that, when they were at Whitney's party and the psychic basically told her the same thing. And now she's like, she ended up having that sit down with her daughters and she's like, well, that moment with the psychic was so like life changing. So you needed a psychic to tell you to go and hang and talk to your daughter, but another mother you wasn't listening to? Insane behavior. Insane behavior. I just think Brittany, granted, Brittany for the show, I love it because Brittany is like the perfect friend of to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's chaos all over the place. Chaos
She's like a
incarnate.
white Marlowe.
She is indeed, but not as good as far as like the shade is concerned.
Right.
But she's good for the show. But when it comes down to that part of it, it's like, oh my God, like you even have the comfortability to bring this to the show, this story about your family, as if it's like doesn't give mental illness. Like we love the vulnerability. Don't get me wrong. Great watch. However, it's like it took the show for you to do this stuff. It took a
That's why
psychic.
yeah, it took a psychic in the show for you to be real with yourself and be real about what's going on with you and your daughter. And that's the reason I already don't like you. And then you not being there for your kid is even more a reason for me not to like you. And just listening to your reasoning for not being there for your damn daughter was even more reason for me not to like you. It's
Mhm.
like, girl, what? Is that your excuse? And you're not thinking about the fact that your daughter is gonna grow up not liking you at all, not fucking with you at all, because she don't really fuck with you now. You can tell by the interaction she don't fuck with you now. So I'm just trying to understand what you think this is. But okay, Brittany, with your thirsty ass on the boat, already trying to fuck with some other nigga already on this motherfucking boat, just a thirsty ass bitch.
And mind you, she said Jared came the night before to help her pack. Then they went on they going on their next 30-day break. So now she can talk to anybody she want to. That gives very much loose coochie energy.
Obviously, look at her on this damn ship already trying to get some dick already.
Okay,
Like, girl, like if you're gonna be on the 30-day whatever, give it a rest.
please
Like, give it a
give it
rest.
a cleanse.
Yes, please. Like, please. Like, that's the reason why your child don't fuck with you because you ain't gave it a rest yet. That's the reason why. But anyway, so Bronwyn arrives, and as soon as Bronwyn comes in, here go Lisa talking about bringing up her skeletons and saying, I don't want to say that Karma is a bitch, but you was talking about my lawsuits, and here you are with your charges and blah blah blah. Lisa, shut the fuck up. You mad because she put your ass on blast about them damn lawsuits, as if you wouldn't put nobody else on blast if you had that same information about them. And you have put motherfuckers on blast and you have dug up information on other people, but you mad when somebody talk about you. This is why I ain't never liked her long face, rooster face ass. That's why I ain't never liked her. Here we
I'm
go again.
crying.
Here we go again. Here we
Here's
go.
the thing with Lisa, and I can agree with that. Is like, first off, I think this is the perfect cast. I feel like everybody plays a role, everybody is necessary. I wouldn't get rid of no one. Would I demote some people? Yes. However, with Lisa, my issue with her is the fact that she's a team player until it's time for the team to play against her. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Like she's so quick to jump on the bandwagon of if somebody else is on the receiving end of vitriol. But when it's on her, she's devastated. It's awful. Like, oh my God, like why would you do this to me? And it's like, come on, Lisa, like, let's be so for real. If we're gonna be anything, be for real.
Right.
Like really. But
And
I
she
love
doing.
Lisa.
I can't stand Lisa. And then she plays the victim. That's what kills me with her.
Mhm.
Um, so then Lisa and Meredith, they wonder if Bronwyn will be honest about what's going on with her.
Here go Meredith.
Meredith ain't nothing but an ass. Meredith is what I was saying Heather was earlier this season. Meredith is an ass kisser.
Mhm.
I don't know why she's so far up Lisa's ass right now. I don't know why she is, but she is. And it's
Mhm.
making her look pathetic at this moment because they're talking about they're wondering if she's gonna be honest. Has Lisa been honest about them lawsuits?
Okay.
Has Lisa been honest about who the fuck she works for? Is Lisa honest about her relationship with her husband? Because he halfway look like he don't like her ass. So my thing is, has she been honest?
She has
But here
not.
you, but here go Lisa already trying to get herself prepared for the bullshit. Here she go. So it's just like, girl.
It's the pact that Meredith and Lisa has for me. I firmly believe that they created a secret pact where it's like, we're not going to talk about each other anymore. We're not going to say salacious shit about each other anymore. We're just going to turn everything on these other girls. And that's what I'm witnessing when it comes down to Lisa and Meredith. Like, when the show first started from season one, obviously they came in the show besties. And then
Mhm,
by the time we got into seasons two, three, things started to deteriorate because of the drama, the things, and we're going to get into that once we get to later in this episode. But it's I feel like they haven't had a genuine friendship since Lisa's hot mic moment. Yes,
mhm.
they fixed things, they talked about things, but I think now it's just kind of one of those things of like, okay, we're 6 seasons in, we're OGs. We used to be friends. We don't want to do this to each other anymore, so let's just go ahead and nip it in the bud between us, and then we're going to handle the other girls. That's what I'm looking at.
But see, it's giving me what Love and Marriage Huntsville was giving me before Melody left, and what I mean by that is none of y'all like each other. None of y'all. So now
Yeah.
we're gonna get on camera and be fake cordial for the sake of working on the show. This is what I don't like about reality TV. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's called reality TV. People don't like each other in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I know that at some point the group has to move forward, the show has to move forward in order for it to make sense. I get that. And I
Yeah.
know that we don't want to stay on one thing for a long time. But to force people to get along, it don't work for me.
Yeah.
Cause on Love and Marriage Huntsville, it was clear Millie didn't like none of them folks,
Not
and
one.
and none of them liked her. So now they got so it shows that we don't like each other, but we got to make it work for the show. Y'all don't. It's fake.
Yeah.
It's fake. I don't like that. Is it just me? But I don't like that.
I would see
It's
what you're saying. I think two things can be true at once. Like,
mm-hmm.
I feel like it can be where, again, team player wise, like everybody knows, like we got to do a show, we got to get things, move things along, whatever. But then I also think that the reality aspect that you're referring to is, let's really genuinely show people how we got to the place of moving forward. You
Right.
know, I think with Lisa and Meredith, at least from my vantage point, again, you know, as a self proclaimed SLC historian, I watched from day one, episode one, and to this day, I don't remember a moment where Lisa and Meredith actually sat down, and it could have been off camera, but they never actually sat down and was like, "This is how I feel. This is what we went through, and I want to move forward." It didn't. I don't remember any moment like that. And if they did happen off camera, that's not fair to us viewers, because again, that's why we have these ideas that they have this secret pact, because we don't know the genuinity of them getting back together as friends. So yeah, two things can be true at once.
Yeah, I think that asking people to coexist is not a bad thing, and asking them to at least try to be cordial for the sake of the show is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But to force them to be friends is too much.
Yes.
Cause I can't do that at work. Like, it's a guy that works in my department that we have been beefing probably since I started there. When I got there last year, we've been beefing ever since then. He's been a homophobe.
Mm.
I cursed him out. I almost I threatened to beat his ass. It was that type of thing. And now he wants to squash the beef and be cool. And it's like, I don't know about us being cool. Can we coexist? Can we be cordial? I can muster up the courage to do that. But being cool,
Mm, that's a bit much.
yeah, like I still they scheduled us to where we don't work with each other because the beef was beefing. Because I was
Yeah.
dead ass serious. I said if I have to work with him, I beat his ass. That's what I said, and they wouldn't put us on schedule together. But it's still to the point to where for me it's like I still don't want to work with him though. Don't put me on schedule with him. I still
Yeah.
don't want to be on schedule with him. Like it's not gonna. I already feel it in my spirit. I tried to bear the hatchet 3 times already, and it didn't work. So it's like just keep him right there.
But that's the realistic aspect of it, though, because in real time, everybody has boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So you set your boundaries by, like, hey, yeah, we work together. I don't have no control over that. But I do have a control over how much we have to interact with each other.
Yeah, because I can't be fake. Like
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked you in the comments, "What's your opinion on Monica?" I definitely want to know your opinion on her since because I didn't watch that season.
Oh, perfect. I can actually give that opinion while coinciding with what we're already talking about, which is the coexisting aspect. Watching the season with Monica was actually enjoyable. I think Monica was the reason why everybody started watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say that in her in season 4, that was like the breakout moment for the entire franchise. And people don't want to give Monica her just due, but it is because of her. Without her, those pieces that people stuck to and actually wanted to watch Salt Lake City for wouldn't have never happened. So for me, I enjoyed Monica for that moment. However, and again, two things can be true at once. I don't think that it would have resonated if she stayed. So I think it was okay that she was either left, fired, however that went. Only
Mm-hmm.
because going into the conversation about coexisting, none of those women wanted to deal with her. And when you get to that point with a cast member, it's very difficult to keep a consistency going for a show.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was where the real problem was, I think, and specifically with Monica too, on her end, Monica's that tongue is nasty. You know, like she
From the clips
talks.
I saw, definitely.
Yeah, that tongue's nasty. Like she empties the clip on them hoes, especially Lisa, and I loved it. But again, it contributes to why these women don't want to deal with her. So business, we're going to choose the other 5 women, bump up and bring in somebody new and keep this shit rolling. And we're just going
Mm-hmm.
to have to let you go. But if there was a way where Monica could have kept it a buck like how she was, still give us the certain elements that we got from season 4 without being so derogatory, I think it would have been okay to keep her, at least as a friend. But Monica never actually fully gelled with those women, if we're honest. Even watching her season, there was never no genuine connection that she did have for real. Like she was close with Angie, but again, for the show, and it just didn't really give true connectivity. Whereas all these other women, they really gel well together. In spite of their issues. And that's where a good cast comes in. So when they added Bronwyn, we're good to go for at least 2, 3 more seasons.
That's true. And
So,
I even though I wasn't watching Salt Lake City during that time, that's all I would hear was the name Monica. That's all I heard.
yeah.
Which made me kind of be like, what's going on over there? I
Yeah.
was kind of like, what's going on over there? But um Brown says that she feels that someone in the group is planting stories about her, and she's pissed that they were talking about it behind her back instead of talking about it to her face, and that the charges is from her past. Now, here's my thing with Bronwyn. Bronwyn, I love you to death, but you cannot be mad about them talking about these charges behind your back because when Lisa wasn't on that damn trip, you was the main one talking about her lawsuits. So you should have known they were gonna do it to you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's the thing. Bronwyn is similar to Lisa in that sentiment, where it's like, Baby, yo, you sit up right where everybody else. Literally, the first episode is all of y'all on a trip talking about Lisa's lawsuits, and she was not present.
Exactly.
Like, Braun, what are we talking about here? Like, you doing the same? Everybody doing the same thing. It is okay. It's fine. It is totally fine.
Look, right, like it's like, girl, come on now. Then Whitney asked Braun when I think they were sitting at the table. I think they was having lunch or something on this part. Because Whitney was like, she asked Braun if everything's okay. And I said, "Ooh, that Whitney knows how to get a scene started. She knows how to get a scene going. She
She ain't
knows."
waste no time.
Yeah, she didn't waste any time. Um, Meredith thinks that Bronwyn should clear it up. It's crazy how you want Bronwyn to clear some shit up, but you don't be trying to make Lisa do the same thing. But okay, Meredith, whatever, girl.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, let's see what else is going on here. So Bronwyn starts explaining the charges. She starts explaining what happened with them, and then the group has questions, as we knew that they would. And then
Hmm.
Bronwyn thinks that it's somebody in the group that's planning stories. So Lisa says that she thinks that it's weird that Bronwyn looked up her information in the past. And then Mary asked Bronwyn if she thinks it's Lisa. And I was so tickled because she sat up there and asked her that right in her face and said, do you think it's Lisa?
Mary never cared. She never cared.
So when Mary, so as that came up, Lisa got defensive. But you're getting defensive because you did it.
She did it. She did
That's
it.
why you're defensive, because you did it.
That's it. She did it. It's just it's the way she jumped up so quickly was like, girl, you could have just put I did it on your forehead if you was gonna do all that, you know?
Because like some of us probably wouldn't even been pointing the finger at her like that if she hadn't reacted like that. Like she literally jumped to the defense from the beginning. And I'm like, girl, you guilty. You did it. You did it.
Here's the thing, and I saw the Watch What Happens Live with her and Aaron Leachy from Real Housewives of New York last night, and Lisa said that in that scene when they initially brought that up, and Bronwyn ended up kind of like explaining herself or whatever. She said that in that moment, Bronwyn actually thought that she brought up Whitney's name first. So the response that we saw from Lisa, actually, from what she's saying, is that she was defending Whitney in that moment. But how they cut it, it made it seem like she was just basically like throwing herself out there. So I wanted to throw
Mm,
that vantage point out there because I don't. Here's the thing: Lisa do be lying, but I also feel like for that type of statement to say that footage wise something wasn't shown, that's why it looks a certain type of way, is a very bold statement. You know, and the
mhm.
reason why I say it's very bold is because it can be proven,
Right.
easily proven. And so I'm like, maybe Lisa's not lying. However, what we've seen, it looks like you're basically admitting guilt.
Yeah, because why you popping off? Like
Real bad.
like it's giving like from the moment she just opened her mouth, I was just like, girl, you did it. Like, shut up.
You did.
Um, so then they jump in the water. They start getting in the water. Angie starts throwing up. Lisa starts talking shit about her throwing up and saying she don't want to be around her while she's throwing up. Hell, I don't want to be around her. You look in your damn face either, but you know they got to deal with that. Whitney says Whitney and Bronwyn were having a conversation, and Whitney just flat out said that she thinks that it's Lisa, and Bronwyn thinks that it's Lisa as well. And in my opinion, I think it's her too. And I don't like Lisa, and it might be the bias in me just screaming that it's her because I don't like Lisa, and anything bad about her, I'm gonna believe it. She did it
Hmm.
because just because of how she's acting is showing that she did it. Like
Yeah.
she don't even give no room for anybody to have any benefit of the doubt for her because she goes straight for being on the defense.
Yeah,
And it's
she's
like,
very
girl,
aggressive. She's very
yeah.
aggressive.
It don't make sense. And then what really got me was when Heather and Whitney started talking, and Heather, who is the neighborhood Lisa ass kisser, also stated that she thinks that Lisa did it. And they asked for Meredith to come into the room. I don't know why they asked her to come in there because she's not going to add anything to the conversation. Meredith comes in and she pretty much don't think that Lisa did it. She said there's no proof that she did it. However, she says, I don't understand why everybody's so focused on whether or not Lisa planted the story, but no one's talking about what Bronwyn actually did. And I'm like, she kind of got a point.
Yes.
But I feel like if it didn't involve Lisa, that would not be a point that she would have to make. Like she wouldn't even be saying shit if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. I would say this. First, I there's a small part of me that agrees that I think Lisa's involved, but then there's this huger part of me that doesn't, and I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like Lisa has become the easy scapegoat as the villain. You know, like
Mm,
it's easy to always blame Lisa for anything bad that happens in this group because Lisa has become and is okay with being this villain for the group in the show. And so the thing for me is like I just feel like that's such an easy drop, you know, whereas all these other women have had very heavy things that they've gone against each other about. Heather and
mm-hmm,
Bronwyn had some heavy beef. Angie and Meredith has had some heavy beef. Angie and Bronwyn had a little moment. Whitney and Heather, Whitney and Meredith, you know, like all of them have had things against each other. However, when they go against Lisa, which in cases why I say it's a small part that I do believe that she's involved, when they go against Lisa, that's when all these things start dropping. And that's what
mm-hmm,
I agreed with them on when Whitney was telling Heather in this episode. Like every time somebody has had an issue with her, she starts dropping stuff. And when she started listing it out, history is there, you know, like rewind all the way back to season two. In season two, when there was some issues going on with Mary, one of the first people to bring up Mary's tea about her church was Lisa. And she was the
mm-hmm,
one who brought up the whole thing about, oh, the guy Cameron who passed away, she was friends with. She said that he basically mortgaged his house for 100 and something $1,000 and gave it to Mary for her church.
mm.
Where did that come from outside of Lisa?
Exactly.
Fast forward, the stuff with Meredith, everything that happened with the hot mic, and she called Meredith all kinds of hoes, and Meredith and Mary could have potentially been the reason why Jen went to jail. All of these things. Fast forward to Whitney, the Alibaba drama, all of that happening. Oh, it's just so convenient that over the years, Whitney is basically one of the main people who's been consistently going against Lisa, and then that drops, and now we're here at Bronwyn. Literally,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has had a moment. The only person who hasn't is Heather, because Heather chose to become her ass kisser. So I just think that unfortunately history just doesn't look well for Lisa. But again, I feel like it's so easy for people to jump on that because of history that makes it very hard to really say, oh yeah, it's Lisa or not Lisa. So I can understand why Meredith feels the way that she feels.
Right. Okay. I can get that. I understand that. So
Yeah.
now they're at the dinner. This is pretty much the last part of the episode. They're at the dinner. Heather says that she misses Angie and Mary's commentary, but Brittany says she doesn't. And Heather says that we have a rule here. And what is the rule? If we're gonna talk shit, we're gonna do it in their face. I'm here for that. I'm here for it.
I
Cause she
love
wouldn't
it.
have said shit if Mary was there.
Yeah.
Okay, she would have said, because what's her issue with Mary? I know I didn't watch last season, but what is Brittany's issue with Mary? Why they don't like it? Why Brittany don't like Mary?
So here's the thing about Mary, and viewers know this firsthand. Mary is one of those characters that, like, you say one wrong thing to her in the first impression, she's one of those women that's big on first impressions. If you say the wrong thing to her or do something that she don't like, and this is her first time interacting with you, she's gonna hold on to that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. So last season, very first episode, Lisa had this party, like a Valentine's Day kind of party or whatever. And Mary and Angie came in. Obviously, it was the introduction of Bronwyn. So Bronwyn and Mary was having a conversation, and Brittany came over, tried to, get into the conversation. And she was like, "Oh, what she said, was it Mary or Bronwyn? Oh, Bronwyn." She's like, "Oh, Bronwyn, I love your costume." And
Mm-hmm.
that was when Bronwyn had the heart coat similar to Rihanna. I can't remember what designer it is, but it's like the heart shaped coat. And Bronwyn was like, "Oh my God, like, this is not costume, this is fashion." And then Mary was like, "Yeah, girl, you don't come over here and, say something about somebody looking like they wearing costume." And then when they were having a conversation about, Mary was getting personal, which she doesn't do often. Mary was explaining how when they were younger, like there were certain things like they just didn't have enough as far as like being children. They didn't have enough. And Brittany was just like, "Oh, I understand. I grew up poor." And Mary said, "I didn't say I was poor." And then she was just like, "Oh, well, I mean, I did that, I put bread in my purse and all that stuff." And Mary was like, "What are you talking about?" So that was literally the first interaction. Throughout the season, it was just the constant little small things. Mary just don't really enjoy her. Mary has a tendency to also go through this like hazing thing with people because she did something similar to Angie where she was like, "Who is Angie?" But then they, as you see, they're besties now. So it's like there's a method with Mary, but Brittany is just one of those gnats, child. She's just, so I can understand what she means when she's like, I'm not missing Mary's commentary because majority of the time when Mary commentates, she's talking shit about Brittany.
Right. Okay. Um, Let me see. So then Brittany says that she does. She says, if anything, I'm one of the people that says stuff to people's faces. So that's when Brown would call her out for talking behind everybody's back. And I was so tickled. Cause I'm like, she said, but she said this about Lisa, and she said this about Meredith, and she said that you were big sister in her, and she said blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my god.
Here's what's so funny about Bronwyn. Bronwyn has this way of doing stuff because she did the similar thing last season when she threw Brittany under the bus. Like the way she does it is she's like she gives Brittany an opportunity to say what she needs to say. Then when she knows that Brittany not gonna say it, she be like, "Okay, fuck it. Well, you said this about her, and then you said this about her, and then that's just really what it is. I'm just saying what you said." And then she lets it be, and then the chaos ensues. And I love it. Cause like she just be like, "Girl, bye." But as you saw, as Lisa like to say, karma is a bitch. Bronwyn definitely got doused with that water that Meredith threw.
Definitely. Okay. And then Brittany says she's tired of Meredith treating her like shit.
Like shit is crazy.
um, then Whitney brings up the conversation that her and Heather had in bed. And I'm like, oh my God, this bitch here. Okay. So Heather then says, I think that you're the reason for all the information being out. And Lisa starts crying without tears.
Jesus. That's her favorite thing to do, actually. If you haven't noticed, her favorite thing to do is name drop people like Ben Affleck and Blake Lively. She clearly learned a thing or two when it comes down to acting. Because the lady knows how to cry on cue with no tears.
Okay, because she didn't have not one douse of water coming out of her eyes, not one. So
Not
I was
one.
like, girl, get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. Like that,
The
because that's
only
all.
thing was running was her tan.
And that's it.
That's
Cause
it.
girl, who you think you fooling? Cause you ain't fooling no fucking body, okay? Like at all. So please
At
stop.
all.
Like all that damn fake crying, and then and then Heather walking around looking for her, and then she go in the room with Mary and Angie, and then Heather told them that she felt like it was Lisa. Here go Mary, cause it is Lisa, cause it is Lisa.
It is. One thing about Mary, she gonna say it. It is. Now what?
And then Angie was agreeing with Mary. It was so funny. And then Brittany comes out there, finds her outside, looking like she's gonna jump her ass into the water. And she comes out there trying to comfort me. Don't touch me. I don't want you around me right now. Please get away from me. Oh my God. I just want to be with John. I just want to be. Girl, John ain't here.
John, glad you on that cast trip, boo.
And Brittany stood up here trying to hug her. She keep getting pushed away. I'm like, girl, do you not get it? She don't want to fuck with you. Get
She
away.
treats me so bad.
Oh my God. And Brittany want to be her friend so bad. So
So
then Brittany runs into Heather, and then Heather asks, have you seen Lisa? And then, that's when Brittany was like, I was actually looking for you. Lisa's outside. And then they go out there and she just steady doing this fake sobbing by the water. And then the episode comes to an end. And I was like, damn, I wasn't ready for this to be over. I was ready for this to keep going. I was like, oh my goodness.
right. I wanted to point out something when Lisa was having her meltdown, and you remember it was a moment where, well, first off, I live, I live for how Whitney brought the conversation up, where she was just like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, I think Heather, I think you need to speak your truth, and Meredith too. Like, why don't we talk about the conversation we had on the bed?" And when Meredith was trying to basically absolve herself of the situation, like, yeah, I was present for this conversation, but y'all talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
You seen when Lisa was blowing up and she turned to Meredith, she was just like, "You better have defended me." Like,
Yes, I saw that.
that was very telling for me. Where it's like, again, going back to what I said before, as a viewer, it looks like they have this secret pact. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, and you know this as having any friends, and you can attest to this. You don't. Nobody doesn't have to tell you to defend your friend.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that this is your friend and y'all are really friends, you know for a fact that this person defended you. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to question it. Okay, now I'm gonna in certain moments I'm gonna definitely be like, so what did you say when all
That,
this happened? Like, what did you say? But I'm not gonna go downright like how Lisa was. Hey, you better defended me. No, da 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 da. Girl, y'all got a pact. We get it.
and that's very clear.
It's very clear.
That is very clear. Ugh.
Very clear. But this episode was so good.
It
Like,
was probably one of the
they are
best
the
ones so
most
far.
consistent. Yeah, they're very consistent.
Yes. Well, before we go, what are your thoughts on Potomac so far? I want to ask you that. What are your thoughts on Potomac so far? And I know that a lot of people have been giving, people like Angel and people like Kiana a whole lot of smoke based off
Yes.
social media. So I just want your thoughts on that too before we go.
I'll say that I feel like Salt Lake City and Potomac are both great this season. I think
Mhm.
Potomac is in their like, their reboot era, I guess you can say, like soft
Yeah.
reboot era, because they ain't
Yeah.
got no damn body. So you have all these new girls who are trying to adjust to this style of work. Some of them have never done reality before. Tia, Angel, you know what I'm saying? Like Stacy. Now Stacy is made for it, of course, but
Mhm.
you have a lot of new girls, and then you have someone like Kay who's been around for a couple years, but she's still trying to adjust to this new dynamic. And I enjoy this season. I think it's fun. I think Giselle and Ashley are definitely working. Like they're trying to keep up the stuff. I feel like Giselle is in charge of the girls as far as how the things are happening, the way that she's dropping the teas and the girls are just like eating it up, but not eating her up is hilarious to me.
That's the thing, they be killing me.
Exactly.
Like,
And then
really?
but they eat up Ashley, and that's why I'm like, Ashley, you are a OG. How did you let Tia pack you up like that? Like little things like that.
Real quick too.
Real quick. But I want to say as far as like viewers, I just want to throw this out there for people who watch Potomac specifically is stop being so negative all the time. Like I think a lot of viewers have a tendency to be really negative with our black shows versus our white shows.
I agree.
I think it's like this over criticism, like where it's like, oh my God, like for instance with Kay, for instance, they're like, oh my God, she's doing too much, fire her. Why do we have to fire a person every time you don't like them? Like, what we don't realize is every season we're not going to like the same people.
That's true.
If we watch these shows and just enjoy them for what these people are putting and presenting to us, putting out for us, then we're going to enjoy the show. Period. We may not like Kay this season. We liked Kay's 2 seasons for the past 2 seasons. Now all of a sudden we don't like her, so we should fire her. Like
And when we liked her, y'all said she was boring. When we liked
exactly.
her.
And she's putting in work this season. To me, like I loved it. Like even when it come down to the Wendy thing, right? Like yeah, it comes off as like, oh my God, she's just trying to find an issue with Wendy. Actually, no. The things that she's bringing up about Wendy are things that every cast member has said about her, if you think about it. Karen
Hmm.
has said it. Even last season, you remember when Stacey in the finale dropped the bomb about what Karen said about Wendy, and she was saying how Wendy isn't a girl's girl, she's not a real friend, and all these things. Is that not so interesting that Kay is literally saying the same thing? And she's bringing it up as directly to Wendy, though. But we have an issue with it.
Can I also ask you this? Because I see this a lot too when it come down to Potomac.
Hmm.
They're constantly saying that Jazzy should have the flute over Kay.
Hmm.
What you think about that?
So I don't think that. I feel like I like Jazzy. I feel like so this is where I feel like a lot of housewives need to do when it come down to how they maneuver. I feel like the way they did Cynthia on Atlanta and the way they do Brittany on Salt Lake City, they should do that for all franchises. Same Miami as well, like Kiki and Adriana and Marisol on Miami. All of them, the friend of role should be a little bit more heightened in the sentiment of like we get to see more of these people, or it's like the perfect test cooker, where we seeing them interact or whatever. Like
Mhm.
and we seeing how they're handling with this group or whatever. But we didn't really see no real gelling with Jazzy from last season outside of afterwards when we got to the reunion and we found out her and Stacey and Mia had their little thing and her and Stacey got so close. Kiana, on the other hand, when she was a friend, we witnessed how she was able to connect with these women. Wendy brought her in. She connected with Candace. She already knew Giselle. She connected with Robin. Like, we saw her. She connected with Karen. We saw her mix with these girls. Jazzy, not as much. I felt like when she came in, of course, she came in as Mia's friend. Jazzy really just stuck on Mia.
And another thing that people don't realize is that Kiana was actually still a friend when they first started filming last season. Jazzy did have the flute first, but
Yep.
Jazzy abandoned the show. So
Hmm.
because she stopped taping and went to go chase after her cheating ass man, they gave the flute to Kiana. That's what happened. So why would they
Yes.
be so quick to give her a flute now?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think people fail to realize that, like, oh, Kiana should have never got her flute. They gave her a flute because it made more sense versus what Jazzy did last season. And this is Kiana's first official season as a full housewife.
Yeah,
So it's
because
like,
she was a friend for half the season. They gave her a flute mid-season.
exactly. And so she's trying to showcase everybody something fully. Like she's being a little bit more present and direct. People thought that she wasn't beforehand, and it really wasn't her fault. It's just how editing worked. But like she's showcasing that to y'all, and y'all may not receive it that much or that well, which is fine. But she shouldn't be like fired from the show. She shouldn't
But
leave.
you
I
know
think she's
what?
right.
It's the same thing with Claudia Jordan. When they first brought her on Housewives, she was a friend. It wasn't
Mhm.
until the Puerto Rico trip where they decided that, okay, Claudia needs to get a peach, Demetria just needs to be a friend. Well, a guest.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what
because they
happened.
wanted Demetria,
That's what they wanted. But
but she was
Claudia
trash.
came through and read the fuck out of Nene, and Nene even said that bitch deserved a peach, not her.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what happened.
Yes.
So, and one more question: although they are filming right now, how do you feel about the criticism of the Real Housewives of Atlanta as well? Because I feel personally feel like the hyper criticism of this show is the reason why it keeps failing, because they keep on ready to just throw the show away every time we turn around, and then they ask for a reboot, they give them one, they're not satisfied. It's just like,
You can't win for losing. You can't. I think it's dumb. It's going back to what I said before, which is like this hyper criticism for our black shows. Like I don't see these other shows which we have witnessed, specifically like Beverly Hills, for example, who we just
tired.
started getting people of color for real. Like when we see these shows and we're watching the stale. Oh my God, Orange County this season, stale as hell.
Beverly
Like
Hills was still last season. I stopped reviewing it.
yes,
Terrible.
it's the way they drag storylines, the way that they are very repetitive with like beefs and stuff like that. It's annoying, but we continue to have these same casts. But then when you get to our black shows like Atlanta and Potomac or Bell Collective, y'all have such vitriol for these casts. Atlanta was good last season.
I
There's
agree.
Sweet 16 was good. You
I
may not
agree.
like everything that the cast did. Everybody felt like Shamia was started off strong and ended off weak. Okay. But overall, as a whole, the show was good. The season was good. And I'm excited for the new one, especially with K. Michelle.
And
Like,
on top of that, they're so quick to count her out because she was on Love and Hip Hop. Let it go.
the elitist behavior when it come down to reality TV is so asinine. Like it's stupid. Like, baby, reality TV is a whole spectrum all in itself. If I want to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta for the next 3, 4 seasons, and then I decide to go do Big Brother, I should be able to do that. Like that's a part of the territory of the jobs. So it's
Yeah.
like Love and Hip Hop. It's a lateral move in my head. I don't think it's like, oh, she's not good enough for them because Atlanta been ghetto. Like a lot of these shows been ghetto.
They
Even the
forget
white
that.
shows. The
They
white
forget.
shows are ghetto. Let's not act like Salt Lake City this past episode wasn't ghetto between Brittany and Meredith throwing them waters.
Let's not act like New Jersey wasn't ghetto. They been ghetto. New Jersey
Been
been
ghetto.
ghetto.
Since season 1. They came out the gate ghetto. Atlanta didn't really show ghetto-ness until season 5. like,
Really, to be
like
honest.
really. So it's like, come on, like let's watch the shows and just enjoy them for what they are.
And regardless of Shamia, falling down the totem pole by the middle of the season, I'm still Team Shamia. I'm still rooting for Shamia. I still want to see her resurgence next season. I want to see what she gonna bring next season. I don't care what nobody say. And she got the first seat for a reason. I said from the beginning she was gonna get the first seat. I said it.
Yes. Yes, I honestly felt like she deserved first seat. Like it made sense. She was the one who she was the token of what a housewife is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it made sense. And then her storyline with Portia was the most genuine, even though people have their ideas and opinions about, oh, how genuine it was, or whether or not she was just trying to start something with Portia, or Portia really isn't a good friend. At the end of the day, they are real friends. We known this from Portia's beginning of her being on the show. So us knowing that they're real friends and them having this issue, it's worth watching. Like, let's check it out. Let's see how this goes. And I was excited for it. Now, did Shamia tank at the reunion? Yes. I felt
Absolutely.
like she gotta get her wording correct. Like she gotta learn how to properly explain herself. And you know what I'm saying? Like that's her issue. But I wouldn't get rid of her. I wouldn't get rid of none of them.
And that's the thing. They the only person that's not coming back is Brie.
Hmm.
So it's like, so what they chose to do, they kept the whole cast and they just bring it on Kate Michelle and this Pinky Cole lady. And I'm fine with that. Ain't nothing wrong with the new Atlanta for me. I'm fine with it. And I just feel like everybody asking for these old cast members to come back is not what's gonna make this show any better. Lead them back there.
Baby,
It's
leave
going to be
Sheree
more.
where she at.
Please stop begging for Sheree to come back. Because when she do
Please.
come back, she don't give shit. So stop bringing her back. Like stop,
Right.
stop asking for Nene. Stop asking for Kim. Stop asking for all them. Let the show move forward, please.
Please, please, and I mean that's the whole point of a reboot. Like the reboot is for a refresh. Sometimes it's not meant to get certain people back. Like I feel like how they got it, because no shade, I would have been fine without Phaedra.
To be honest, I did not want Phaedra back.
I would have
To
been
be
okay
real,
without Phaedra.
I don't understand why they brought her back anyway. To
It
be
don't make
real,
sense because Phaedra ain't about to show us nothing still.
nothing.
And I love Phaedra, but I love Phaedra for the other era of Atlanta. This new era, I don't agree Phaedra should have been a part of this cast.
She shouldn't have been.
And if she was, she should have been playing Cynthia's role. I would have
She should have
preferred
been a
Phaedra in
friend.
that role.
She should have
Yes,
been a
a free.
friend.
If you, I feel like the way to continue Atlanta properly, keep what you got, and start having, if you do want to bring some OGs back, bring them in these like guest and friend roles and just have them just in and out. We don't need nothing because there's nothing Sheree can give us.
Nothing.
Nothing. There's nothing that none of these girls, even with Cynthia, which I can appreciate about Cynthia, she said it herself. She did 10 years, 10, 11 years. There ain't nothing else I can give this show. So when they brought the whole friend of role to me, it made sense. Because it does. Cynthia
It
can
do.
play, she plays like a big sister, vet role. And I like it. So give Atlanta a break.
And sometimes I wonder because I do know that from what I was told that the original plan before they got everything together, before Candy made her decision, the original plan was to keep Kenya and Candy and bring in Portia and then bring on everybody else. Sometimes I wonder how that would have panned out if Candy would have stayed.
Kenya, Candy, Portia, Angela, Kelly, who else is Shamia and Britt? That would
Yeah.
have been the cast. I wouldn't have been mad at that. I feel like Candy would have been great. Like Candy is one of those people, and this is where I think it differentiates Candy versus Phaedra. Candy has a more of a, regardless of how people say dry she is, Candy has more of a youthfulness to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she's able to mix well with the more younger part of the cast as well as the more seasoned part of the cast.
Oh, I forgot Drew.
Phaedra, yeah. Oh, Drew. Oh, I'm sorry. And I love Drew. I love
Mm-hmm.
Drew. Drew's great. And shout out to Drew for being one of the very few girls who actually stuck for
Okay.
years. Shout out to her. But Phaedra, I feel like, and somebody said this on Twitter at one time, Phaedra only becomes this person when she's with Portia. Phaedra isn't as useful, as people like
It's
to say.
not.
And if you remember years back, it was the season 9 reunion when Shamia actually said it. She was just like, Portia brings a youthfulness to Auntie.
Now that's the Shamia I wanted at the reunion.
Yes. But I think it was a lot for her to come in. This is her first season again, which we got to start giving these people grace. Like this is their
And
first
Portia is
season.
her real friend, and I think she was holding back a lot too. Like she didn't really want to go all the way in like that. I think it was
Yes.
a lot of that too. But one more thing before we go, because now I've asked you about the Housewives shows. Tell the people what they should expect from our show.
Oh my God.
The Team
Yes.
ATL, because if you haven't realized, Miss JT is up here and she is one of the castmates and the EP of the show that we are on called The Scene ATL on the Stylish TV Network, but she is the one who started the Stylish TV Network.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to tell them about our show and
Yeah.
what they can expect from
Okay.
everybody?
So first off, I enjoyed being here. This was so fun.
It
I was
was.
I was waiting on this because
You were.
Salt Lake City is my show. So I was waiting on this. But like, when it comes down to the scene ATL, I think y'all are going to enjoy the show. It's going to be so fun. What makes our show very different is the fact that you're going to get a lot of laughing going on versus you getting a lot of drama per se. Like the drama's there, so I don't want to deter people. We got enough of it, okay? But it's a lot of comedic stuff too. Like it's an enjoyable watch. You get to see real friends, and of course, the Scotty gang. Y'all get to see Scotty in a whole new element and a very much raw and uncut version of him, and I live for it because he's messy, y'all.
See,
So.
this is where this is gonna go left because she's lying. As a matter of fact, she is the one that's in all the shit, and we up here being nice to one another right now. But when
Yeah,
you watch this fucking show, you're gonna see something else.
you're
Cause
right.
she,
And so,
'cause she want to be Giselle so motherfucking bad, and I have to call her out on this bullshit.
yeah,
And she gets a kick out of starting shit with me. That's what I'm saying. And
I
you're
don't
gonna
get a
see
kick
that
out of it.
all season.
So here's the thing,
You
like,
get a kick out of
yes,
starting with me.
I am in the mess. Absolutely. You know
All
what
of
I'm
it.
saying?
Don't forget to
I
say
am.
all of it.
I am. But and as a comparison, as he just said, I am the Giselle of the scene, okay? And Scotty is the Karen of the scene. And so because of that, we have a very healthy debate throughout the season. And I feel like the people would enjoy it. They'll love it. It's
Child, I
fun.
ain't gonna lie. I was looking at some of that footage from that last event we had, and I was getting pissed the fuck off watching that shit back. I'm like,
Because it's so funny. I love in the moment stuff. Like I don't know. I feel like me and you specifically, and people will obviously watch it and see it, but like me and you specifically are so good at like off the dome, like just saying stuff. And maybe an Aquarius thing. Like
it
we're
might
just
be.
so off the dome with it. And it's like so enjoyable. It's literally, child, we couldn't make this stuff up if we wanted to.
We
It was
couldn't. All like let's see. I don't want to say. I want to say something, but I feel like it's gonna give something else away. But Carl is pretty much like Shawnee.
yeah.
That's what he's giving over here. He's like Shawnee.
Yeah.
Like he not really in the mess, but he's entertaining the mess, but he's not necessarily in it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you will find out the reason why he wasn't around enough to be in it. Y'all will find that out.
Of course.
Let's see. Now, Bando and just tell me what you think, if you agree or not. With Bando being on this show, I think you get to see something else. Because all people know him to be is a troll.
Yes.
And yes, he does troll on this
Indeed.
show, but that's not all he does. If you get my drift, what would you say about that?
I agree with that. I think this is a perfect opportunity for people to see Bando in a different way as well. Like I think, as you said, he's such a troll in the world of the web world and on social media. Like he's such a troll. But then like seeing him in more of like a natural element, so like moments with you or me or Carl or anybody else within the cast that he gets to kind of just interact naturally, I think that's where people are going to kind of see a more regular guy,
Yeah,
like, and I think I appreciate the most with that too, rewatching some of the stuff. And as we're putting everything together, it's like, okay, I can have my thoughts, but at the same time at the same time I can also attest that we actually get to see a lot of different sides to him, and you as well. Like we get to see different sides of you, get to see different sides to almost all of us, honestly.
because I just wanted to expand on the Bando part because I know that they only see one thing, and everybody thinks that that's all he does. So
Yeah.
when they see that, that's not when they see the show. You gonna see that early in the season. You gonna see that,
Okay.
but you're also gonna see that that's not the only thing that he's about. Especially when we film stuff together, you see a different. I think I bring something else out of him when we communicate and connect. It's something. It's like this little fun,
Vulnerable.
vulnerable side of him when we're
Yeah.
filming. That's what you're gonna see with me and him a lot.
Yeah.
Then it's also fun because DJ is on here, and that is my friend of 15 years. So just like JT said, when she seen the footage back, you could really tell that we were really for real, like friends for real for that long. You could tell that we've been friends forever. You could tell.
Yeah.
And then with Delon is probably the only person that I didn't know. That's the person that JT was close to, and that's someone that Carl already knew, and Bando knew of Delon.
Mhm.
And Delon gives that bougie, he gives that bougie, classy shade energy. Like that's what he gives. Everybody brings something different.
Delon reminds me of Garcelle Bouvet.
You know what? That's a good comparison.
You know,
I can do
he
that again.
definitely gives Garcelle Bouvet, like definitely Garcelle, because he's very chill, but he's secretly messy. And
Yeah,
he's very shady, but he's
yeah.
like his shade is also subtle. So it's like if you're not, like you said, in your Meet the Cast, which will be dropping soon, is you if you're not paying no mind, you're miss his shade, and then you're gonna be like, "Bitch, did she shade me?" You know what I mean? So it's fun. I think people are gonna really enjoy the show. If you haven't already, I saw the link being dropped. Make sure you subscribe, like and comment. We already are, posting. We're going to be doing a fresh rollout through the month of December, so be on the lookout. Follow us on Stylish TV's Instagram page at __ Stylish TV. My Instagram is here as well, JC for real, for real. But yes, I'm excited for the people, and I appreciate you for having me. This was so fun.
Well, okay, you guys, we're about to go on and get up out of here and things like that because I have something else that I have to do. But with that being said, we're out of here until next time.
Bye.
Bye.